Hi, everybody. Good to see you. I'm trying to get my stuff turned down here so it doesn't make a weird noise and get my butt in my seat. I found my glasses, but these actually see better to see the chat. So I wore these instead, y'all. My nose is itching. I looked up and it was literally like 5 o'clock. And I was like, oh my God. I come running in here, got my coffee, got sat down, and thought, crap, I don't have my notes. So I ran back and grabbed my notes. So I'm a little bit out of breath right now. So it's good to see y'all as you're coming in. I'm going to check with you in just a few minutes, let a few more people come in and just kind of, you know, breathe for a minute, I guess, huh? I hope you're all having a good day. It's almost the weekend again. For us, it is. Mark works Monday through Fridays, and then he's off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So for us, it is a weekend, or the weekend starts tonight. And so we're pretty excited about that. Our dog, Duke, the Australian Shepherd, I swear he has like a sixth sense. He knows, right? He absolutely knows that it's the night that Mark comes in and stays here. He doesn't leave at 5 o'clock the next morning. So Duke, it's so funny because on Mondays he pouts. He lays on the bed and like looks at me like he's just like, the end of his life has come. So it's so funny. It is so good to see y'all coming in. I'm gonna get started. I don't think this one's gonna be real long, but if is Mischief here yet? I don't see her. I can sneak around a little bit. But she does. I need to let her know that this one, if it runs a little bit over, I'm doing okay. I'm trying to stretch it out to where I can actually stand to do just a little bit more. So anyway, so tonight or today, y'all, I'm not quite as spicy as I was yesterday. Ugh. If you hadn't seen that one yet, make sure you go back and check it because I think it was a good live. I was pissed, y'all. I'm still mad, but feeling a little bit better. I watched some Christmas movies. I got a package just a while ago. That's why I was running late because I got a package from a friend in England and I had to sign for it. And then the delivery guy decided to be chatty and oh, bless his heart. Any other time I could chat, 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 chat. But I need to tell him, listen, if you show up at between 5 and 6 or so, I'm not going to be able to chat. So anyway, he's sweet and it's Christmas and you never know. I don't know what his life is like. He's always so jolly, but some of the jolliest people are sad and he might be absolutely an amazing happy man. But you never know. And maybe that just taking a minute and having a little conversation with him, it didn't hurt me any much other than running around. Uh, oh goodness, I'm getting all kinds of messages. Anyway, so I'm going to get started. So yes, today I'm not quite as spicy as yesterday. I don't know of any F-bombs that I'm thinking might be, threatening to detonate in this in this one. Um, but you just never know, right? So today I just have my normal loathing of the cult of Scientology. I'm not quite as fired up as I was yesterday. So anyway, I want to take a dive into the cult of Scientology and if they should qualify for religious status based solely, y'all, on their actions. Set aside all the stuff that all the second gens have said, which I think should be enough to get their tax exemption revoked and get them shut down and be illegal in the US. But let's for just a minute, put on our pretending caps and pretend like that they hadn't said a word or that the FBI and all that have never heard anything, which we know is bullshit. Whoops, sorry. But anyway, we know that. So just based on their actions, what they have done outside of the Church of Scientology. I want to look at that and see if they deserve to be called a religion. And the way that we're going to do that is to look into Operation Snow White. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that than I have in the past, but I'm not going through all the documents. Good Lord, there's so many. Well, in fact, I've got a number in here somewhere that tells me how many documents there were. So it would like 42,000 something documents. Yeah, 48,149 documents. 48,149 documents. We don't have time for that. So we are just going to hit on some of the high points and see at the end if we were in the position of the FBI or the IRS or whatever, if we think based on their actual actions, okay, if they should ever be allowed to have a tax exempt number or anything, any kind of benefits of the United States, as far as I'm concerned. But let's just stick to the tax exempt number. And I know that it's our automatic thing to say, no, they don't, because we know the history. We know what the second gens have said. We know what the first gens have said. We know what they've done. We know what they're doing now. I mean, just like, I can't think of his name. His name just went out of my mind. Cubs Champions 16. What the holy hell? I mean, obviously, y'all, and I want to do something with him sometime, but obviously, something that he supposedly did 7 months ago is now rattling their cage because one of them threatened his life and he reported it to the police 2 weeks ago. So now suddenly something that didn't bother them 7 months ago is bothering them. So, Jesus, they're never going to quit. It is never going to quit unless we've got to get that tax exempt number out. I know that that's not the one thing, but it is a huge thing. If they had to start paying taxes on everything, they wouldn't be able to make it. So anyway, but before we go into the Snow White situation, gotta turn the fan on. Hot flashes, y'all. Oh, they are real. So before we go into that, I want to look for just a moment at the actual religious aspect of it, okay? And as far as I'm concerned, I don't care. The cult's a cult, right? And, I'm sure that you all know what my opinion is going to be at the end of the video. I'm not likely to change my mind, but, let's pretend that we're being, fair. We are being fair, but, you know what I mean. But anyway, so we're going to dive in to their religious and ethical issues that lead up to that Operation Snow White. So it's all one topic, but it's kind of choppy a little bit. Bear with me. I couldn't figure out. I'm hoping that I segued from one thing to another one pretty good. But anyway, so about this time of year, y'all, in 1975, Scientology snuck their way into Clearwater, Florida. No joke. Snuck their way in. As the world celebrated the birth of a child in a manger, Scientology plotted and schemed and literally snuck into Clearwater, Florida, under the guise of religion. So that was when they first came into Clearwater. Okay, so I may have a couple cuss words in here. I put religion my ass, okay? Scientology is both a cult and a criminal enterprise, in my opinion. Its beliefs and practices are so alien, y'all, to the teachings of Jesus. They're just as alien to the teaching of Jesus as their galactic overlord Xenu would be. I mean, let's just face it. It's about they're I honestly could respect their whole alien theory if they just weren't dickheads about everything, if they just wouldn't be assholes. But it's just like they just like yesterday's live, it would be so easy to just treat people with respect and dignity. And that would shut so many of us up. Imagine they could shut Surge up like that if they would just own up to the crap that they've done to these kids and do something that shows that it is never going to happen again. But they won't. They're sadistic. They enjoy it. They have to, or they would stop it. It would be in their benefit to stop it. Just like the abuse and just the word went out of my head, but anyway, the abuse that they and the neglect, there you go, that they suffer their elderly with, right? That so it's like they have to like it. They're getting off on it. You know, LRH did, and now little Davy does. They get off on it, but I'm going all over the place and not sticking to the story, which okay. So, the cult of Scientology is not, if it was not so dangerous, it would be a joke. And its actions are literally a slap in the face to religion as a whole, or even just an ethical life. So, the majority, honestly, of the country, well, maybe not literally, but a large portion of our country and of this world consider themselves in a religious deal as Christians. That goes into so many different denominations and everything, and even Catholics and everything. And so, you know, even if we don't have exactly the same beliefs, we have common beliefs that everybody believes, even if it's just an ethical belief. Satanic churches have ethical beliefs that are not far from what ours are, as just whether you're Christian or any other religion or any other denomination, whatever, or nothing. We still have basic ethics, right? So, some passages from, well, hello, Charlie, shocking. So, some passages from the Bible, some of the commandments and stuff, are not only just commandments for the Christians, but a lot of people live by it in an ethical sense. But guess who doesn't? You got that right. How about thou shalt not steal? Seems pretty common. I mean, I can see it as a religious deal, but it's also just kind of an ethical thing that we probably really shouldn't go around just stealing stuff, right? So, but unless you're the church of or the cult masquerading as a religion, on November 9th, 1975, the Sabbath no less, an agent of the cult of Scientology using the code name Silver entered his way into the IRS headquarters in Washington, D.C. He made his way to Charles Zuravain's office, an attorney in the disclosure office of the chief counsel. My eyes watering for some reason. Finding the file that he wanted, y'all, he made copies. Before he was done, the stack of copies he made on the IRS's copy machine and used their paper, wasn't that sweet of him, was over a foot tall. So he didn't just sneak in and get a paper, get a memo, or maybe get a folder. No, he took a freaking stack, a foot tall stack of documents, and he left just like he came in, undetected. Is that not theft? So, okay, Mr. Religious leader David Miscavige, thou shalt not steal unless you're Scientology. Okay, thou shalt love thy neighbor as themselves. You don't have to be religious to think that that's a good thing. Just don't be a shit ass to your neighbors. Be nice, love them, take care of them, worry about them. If you've got an old couple next to you and it's snow on the ground and the electricity's out, go check on them. Or just go check on them, make sure they've got heat, make sure they've got water, make sure that they've got food and toilet paper and, whatever. That's common courtesy. And it is loving thy neighbor as thyself. That's what that is. You don't have to be religious to believe in that. And I don't think there's any of us here that wouldn't believe in it. But not Scientology, y'all. On December 5th of 1975, the big dogs in the cult of Scientology issued a directive. Now, I'm going to read a lot of stuff that either Scientology, not a lot, but a few things, that either Scientology or the prosecutors wrote. And those are going to take up more time than anything I have to say, probably. But they're very interesting. So, the directive was called Power Project 3 Normandy. Major target to fully investigate the Clearwater city and county area so we can distinguish our friends from our enemies and handle them as needed. Sounds loving, huh? It's loving your neighbors, y'all. We're going to go spy on these people and figure out who might be saying something against us, and then we're going to handle them. That's coming. Okay? Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors. Again, don't be lying about your neighbors. Don't be causing them shit. Don't be calling and saying that they're, playing their music loud if they're not. Don't be, I can think of 100 things. Just don't be lying about them. And it doesn't just mean your neighbor. It means anybody. Neighbor in the Bible is basically anybody. So basically, just don't be lying about people. Don't be lying about someone, right? But on January 26th of 1976, a day when the cult of Scientology was still masquerading as the United Churches of Florida, a church official named Joe Lisa told another church leader that he'd devised a scheme to get reporter Mark Sableman fired by the Clearwater Sun. So if he's had to do a scheme, right? He's devised a scheme. Not just, I have information that's going to get this guy fired. No, he's devised a scheme that is lying, or false witness against your neighbor kind of deal. So their plan, y'all, was have an old lady go into the office at the newspaper and start screaming that she wants to see Sableman's boss. She goes in and she screams and she cries that Sableman has sexually assaulted either her son or her grandson, whichever one they choose to use, okay? Producing a lurid, perverted magazine. This is their words. They wrote this. I'm not saying. I'm just reading it. She throws it in the face of Sableman's boss. And look what he gave my son or grandson, depending. Not to mention what he did to him. And then she sobs, like she's just sobbing. She says, I'm going to police. If you can't do something about that pervert Sableman, I will see that they do something about you. So, not only have they made up a lie that they're going to tell that could get this guy put in jail just because he wrote something about, he investigated them and wrote some kind of little article. It wasn't even that bad. But anyway, I'll need to find it again. I had it, but I can't find it. But anyway, it's somewhere here, but I'll find it and I'll read it to you. It really wasn't, good Lord, as bad as they do, it could have been 10,000 times worse. But, they're not only that, but they're also making threats to another person or entity or whatever, the person and this newspaper, right? And then it was just 2 days later that residents of Clearwater learned that their neighbor in the Fort Harrison Hotel was actually a new religion, founded just 29 years before by a science fiction writer, L. Ron Hubbard. So that was just, I'm sure they were just tickled, weren't they? It took another 19 months before the US government figured out Scientology had been stealing files for more than 2 years. So little old Silver dude, right? It wasn't just a one night thing. That was just whenever he got the most, but they had been at it for 2 freaking years. Y'all, I drink it's so funny. Mark just is like, geez. I drink this caffeinated, it's like a power, it's like a double strength mocha. But anyway, oh my nose. But anyway, I drink that during the show to keep me going. And then when the show's over, I drink my peppermint tea to calm me back down and let me relax. Mark's like, whoop. And I said, well, I could do it with pills, but I choose to do it with just coffee and tea. So anyway, on July 8th of 1977, FBI agents pounded down the doors of Scientology offices in Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. They left with 48,149 documents. Many were copies of the government agencies and others' documents. So a lot of those documents, they said about half, were documents that had been stolen from the U.S. government or other agencies that they had infiltrated. Others were files to private organizations like American Medical Association and the St. Petersburg Times. Plus internal documents of the Church of Scientology, which revealed a buttload, y'all, of dark secrets, it said. It didn't say buttload, I added that. It said like I can't remember, but it was a lot. But anyway, I added a buttload, but they just said dark secrets. So anyway, on August 15th of 1978, a federal grand jury indicted 11 Scientologists, okay? 9 of them held high positions in the cult's Guardian's Office, now known as the Office of Special Affairs, or OSA. The Guardian's Office had this mandate, and it said, to sweep aside opposition sufficiently to create a vacuum into which Scientology can expand. So they were already saying that they were going to do whatever they had to do to get rid of anybody that opposed them so that they could grow. Because their goal when they came there was literally to take over the city of Clearwater and their government and everything. And they're working on it still, right? So, I mean, they've definitely got a hold of that city. But anyway, the 28-count indictment charged them with conspiracy to steal government documents, theft of documents or government documents, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. Got to move my thumb every once in a while. The 11 indicted were 1. Mary Sue Hubbard, LRH's wife and second in command of the Church of Scientology. Number 2, Jane Kimber of England, head of the Worldwide Guardian's Office. Number 3, Morris Moe Budlong of England. Some of these, it doesn't say what their offices actually were, but 9 of them were high-powered. It only lists the powers of 2 of them. So, anyway, Henning Height out of Los Angeles. Duke Snyder, not related to the baseball player, it says, in Hollywood, California. Richard Wagand out of Van Nuys, California. Gregory, oh boy, Witherspoon, Beverly Hills, California. Mitchell Herman, a.k.a. Mike Cooper, out of Hollywood, California. Cindy Raymond out of Hollywood, California, Gerald Bennett Wolfe out of Arleta, California, and Sharon Thomas out of Los Angeles, California. So those were the 11 that were indicted. All were guardian officer or office officials except for Wolfe, who was silver, and Miss Thomas, who was the church's secret agent in the Justice Department. So basically, she was in there and she got them ways to get in and ways to find stuff and everything. She told them where to find it, how to get in. She provided that kind of help, but she didn't actually steal it, which I don't know. To me, that's just me. On August 29th, 1978, 9 of the 11 were in the U.S. District Judge George L. Hart Jr.'s courtroom in the federal courthouse at the foot of Capitol Hill and pled innocent. Jane Kimber and Mo Budlong were in England. I couldn't find, which I admittedly did not dig real deep, but I couldn't find whatever happened to them. Because surely something, I mean, it was England. We get along with England. They would send them back or, I don't know. For the next 14 months, COS attorneys fought to prevent the trial and to keep seized documents from getting out to the public eye. Wonder why they don't want their documents shown to the public. I don't know. But Scientology's appeals to higher courts failed. Thank God, right? Trial was scheduled for September 24th in Washington, D.C. before the U.S. District Judge Charles R. Ritchie, but that didn't happen. For 2 weeks, government attorneys and the Scientology attorneys argued back and forth. They fussed and discussed and went on until October 8th, when they finally reached an agreement, which Judge Ritchie ruled that an agreement had been reached. So that was good. So the agreement, y'all. So Mary Sue Hubbard and this is a quote, okay, from the documents from the prosecutors. I couldn't think of the word. Mary Sue Hubbard and her 8 colleagues appeared in front of George Ritchie on October 26th. A team of prosecutors led by Assistant U.S. Attorney Raymond Bannon presented a witness statement of the government's case, backed up by 3 folders of documents. From all those documents to 3 folders. They stipulated that was the evidence that the government would have presented if the case had gone to trial, which I call bullshit on. You go from that many documents to 3 folders, unless those folders was some honking ass folders, which we've got some that are like 6 inches deep or something. Maybe it was 3 of those. It didn't say. But anyway, it would have been what they would have presented if they had gone to court. Judge Ritchie found that 9 Scientologists guilty of 1 count each. Also, it says this left the defendants free to appeal. They will claim convictions should be overturned because the evidence used against them was seized illegally, but they will not claim that they are innocent of plotting to infiltrate the government. So basically, part of the agreement was that if they wanted to appeal, they could say that the stuff, I mean, it doesn't prove that it was, but anyway, they can say, hey, that evidence was collected illegally. I'd be like, well, you stole it illegally to begin with. We was stealing our shit back. But anyway, so they can say that, but they can never say that they didn't commit the crime. So that was part of the agreement. And according to the court records, none of them have ever tried to say that they didn't, or, not publicly anyway, that they didn't commit the crime. Probably privately, they're probably bragging about it. So then, after that was done, after he had found them guilty, Judge Ritchie lifted the seal and released a pared-down version of the documents. Some had been returned to the Church of Scientology because they had no bearing on the case. And so, if it was just their documents and it didn't matter to the case and they took them back. But about a half of all those documents that they had gotten from when they raided the church or the cult, about half of those were released to the public. And those documents, y'all, told told a tale of the intent to take over the city of Clearwater, or at least it didn't say Clearwater, but it said a quiet city in Florida. So, considering they were basically taking over Clearwater, still. Anyway, the documents revealed that Church of Scientology came to Clearwater with a written plea to establish its program's headquarters, or what they called its School of Theology. And they wanted to do that in the Fort Harrison Hotel and take control of the city. Now, that was in their own documents. That's not just me saying it or the FBI saying it or the IRS saying it. Scientology said that. Those documents also show that the United Churches of Florida, that they were calling themselves instead of Scientology, was a front group to protect the church's assets to keep the government from seizing them. So, what I want to know, I'm going to kind of go off on a tangent here in just a minute. Okay. These people are not that smart. I mean, honestly, the people, I don't mean this ugly, and it's going to sound ugly no matter what I say. But the people, David Miscavige is not that smart. Obviously. Ron Hubbard, not that smart. Obviously. The church is ran by Sea Org members, basically. The majority of it, which are sadly uneducated for the most part, right? So they don't know the ins and outs of legal ease, basically. So that's my point, is that they're not stupid. I don't mean it like that. I mean, I am educated and I don't know all the ins and outs of legalese. So, of course, somebody like, you know, our children, we've all of us have got kids or grandkids that are like, 5th grade level, 7th grade level, 9th grade level, whatever. Would you expect them to know all the ins and outs of legalese? And they don't have time to study it in the church or the cult because they're too busy studying all the shit that LRH wrote and getting audited and doing hard labor from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and working 2 hours in a call center because they have some kind of stupid event constantly. So, you know, my point is they had lawyers, obviously. They had lawyers that, went to court with them and everything, and everybody's entitled to a lawyer and, a proper defense and a fair and speedy trial and blah, 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 blah. Okay? My point being, before that, these lawyers, or some lawyers, drew up this shit because it's written in a lot of it in legal ease, in legal terms. And how is that legal? How can they not be disbarred for doing things that is basically making the cult have the ability to break the law? Maybe they're not breaking the law, but aren't they guilty, like, after the fact or something? Because, if you're in a car and somebody goes in and robs a bank and somebody gets killed, you're also going to be charged with the murder. So how can these lawyers draw up all these papers that let Scientology do all these illegal things and hide shit and hide money and, have these front groups and all this stuff and not get disbarred? I don't understand. I don't know. I'm like, what's in here that I can't figure it out? I mean, I can figure out that it's, criminal, it's just unethical and all these things. I can figure that stuff out, but how are they getting around the law? I don't understand. Anyway, they show these documents. When they say they're talking about documents that they got from the Church of Scientology, show that the Church of Scientology conceived and carried out plans to discredit their enemies. So that would go back to the, don't be lying about your neighbor, which goes back to the religion thing that shows that they are not a freaking religion. You don't have to believe in God to believe that it's wrong to lie about your neighbors, to kill somebody, to rob somebody, to, steal from them. You don't have to be a Christian to believe those are true. It seems like it would just be like normal, but it's not for them. It's almost like they say, lie about your neighbors, go steal all you can, kill anybody you want. I don't get it. It's like, good Lord. Anyway, those neighbors were the mayor who questioned their secrecy, which was Charles LeChair. He was the mayor from, oh God, I forget, 78 to 82 or something like that. Number 2 would be reporters who investigate and write about Scientology. 3, the editor and owner of the largest newspaper locally. And 4, their local police departments. So they wanted to discredit and, just discredit their enemies. That's the people that they were first on the list kind of deal. They probably got a big old list now. They show convert agents obtain jobs, y'all, with local newspapers, community agencies, and law firms to spy. And people wonder why I don't want Scientology members or those that are very like, my mind is not working, but the ones that really are very like good too and in line with, they might not be a Scientology or a Scientologist, but they are, they're going along with them. So I don't want them in the Trump White House or any White House. I don't care for the next however many years that Scientology is still going. I don't want any of those people in the White House. I don't even want them taking a tour. There ain't no telling what they'd steal. Good Lord. And with the bunch of crap that goes on anymore and all the just, Jesus. A Church of Scientology spokesman told a group of high school kids, y'all. These are high school kids. I want to know what the hell Scientology was doing talking to a group of high school students. Why? Other churches don't get to go in and try to recruit high school students. Other churches don't get to go in and do all this stuff. They don't get to. But this spokesman said, we step on a lot of toes. We don't turn the other cheek. Government prosecutors in a memorandum to Judge Riley urging for a maximum sentence delivered this judgment. And y'all, this is long, but I want you to listen because it's good. Whoever wrote this is my hero. He's my hero today. Mike Brown will always be my hero. His mom will always be my hero. But whoever wrote this, I guess I should wait. Okay. Oh, I'm missing a page. How did I miss a page? Oh, God. And it's an important one. Oh, crap. Can y'all hold on a second? Oh, hold on. Whoa. No, that's not it. I am really missing a page. I'm going to run to my bedroom and see if it's in there on my desk. Talk amongst yourselves. Mods, can you once again put up Mike Brown's um, information and put up the SBTV and the Aftermath Foundation links, if you would. If you'd put up Mike Brown's and both of the foundation's links, I will be right back. I hope. Geez, I'm back. I didn't find it, but I do have another way to do it. I'm going to check these just real quick and make sure I didn't just sit it somewhere else. I found it. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. That one's done. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm back. Okay. So it said, now this is what they said before he put down his judgment or his ruling on it. His, not ruling, his sentence. Okay. That these defendants were willing to frame their critics to the point of giving false testimony under oath and then having them arrested and indicted speaks legions to their disdain for the rule of law. I'm out of breath. I literally ran. I threw everything that was on my desk onto my bed, which is right next to my desk. So, anyway, indeed, they place themselves above the law, meting out their personal brand of punishment to those guilty of opposing their selfish aims. The crime committed by these defendants is of a breadth and breadth. I can't say that word. Breadth. How, it's wide anyway. And scope previously unheard of. No building, office, desk, or file was safe from their snooping or prying. No individual or organization was free from their desperate conspiratorial minds. The tools of their trade were miniature transmitters, lockpicks, secret codes, forged credentials, and any other device that they found necessary to carry out their conspiratorial schemes. It is interesting that the founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, wrote in his dictionary entitled Modern Management Technology Defined that, quote from L. Ron Hubbard, truth is what is true to you, unquote. Thus, with the founder's blessings, they could wantonly commit perjury as long as it was in the interest of Scientology. Okay. The defendants rewarded criminal activities that ended in success and sternly rebutted those that failed. The standards of human conduct embodied in such policies no less than absolute perversion of any known ethical value system. In view of this, it defies the imagination that these defendants have unmitigated audacity, y'all. I've always liked that word, to seek to defend their actions in the name of religion. That these defendants now attempt to hide behind the sacred principles of freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and the right to privacy adds insult to injury, which they have inflicted on every element of society. Okay. As Judge Ritchie was about to sentence Mary Sue Hubbard, he told her, "We have a system of government in the United States. For anyone to use the benefits of those laws or to seek, under the guidance of those laws, to destroy the very foundation of the government is totally wrong and cannot be condoned by any reasonable citizen." Kind of like him, too. The judge imposed a maximum sentence on Mrs. Hubbard and two other defendants of 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. But he also said that he would reconsider Hubbard's sentence after she spent 3 months in prison. He sentenced 5 others to 4 years in prison and $10,000 in fines, and the remaining defendant to 1 year in prison, 6 months of it suspended, and a $1,000 fine. And that, my friends, is how the cult of Scientology came to Clearwater. Its dirty deeds have certainly not stopped. It didn't stop with that. You would have thought that that would have been a humongous slap on the hand, and they would have been like, "We want to be a little more careful how we, do things." But nope, they're just as dirty now. And it won't be until we manage to have their tax exemption revoked. Someone please, y'all, explain to me how an organization who commits the crimes that the cult does against our country, y'all, can get a tax exemption under the pretense of religion. We know. The government knows they're not a religion. All you got to do is look back at all these things on this Operation Snow White, and you know that the government knows that they're a criminal enterprise. They're not a religion, and yet they get religious freedom, freedom of speech, for the right to privacy. They get all that and a tax exemption. What actual religion, okay? And I know we've got some that's committed some crap, okay? Especially against children. But I'm not talking about them right now. But I am saying, what actual religion does the criminal acts or covers up the criminal acts that this cult does? They don't do anything good. As bad as this is going to sound, the Catholic Church has had some issues and still does. But they also do good, right? They've got people that are asshats, but the actual religion is not corrupt. It's people. And people can be corrupt. I mean, I don't care what religion you are or no religion. You can be crooked. Okay? The Baptist church has problems. But the Baptist religion is not criminal, you know? They have individuals that are assholes. But the Church of Scientology is the asshole. They're run and operated by assholes. Even the people that we are calling victims are being assholes a lot of times. Just like Mike Rinder. And I don't mean to keep bragging on, to keep dragging him up, but honestly, Mike Rinder was both a victim and a perpetrator. He was a victim of the church, but he perpetrated crimes and punishment and pain and whatever, abuse. He covered it up. He committed crimes. He did bad things, but he was also a victim. And so that's what I am saying about the ones that are in there now, other than the higher ups that are, just absolute assholes in Tom Cruise. He makes me ill. But even the ones that are victims are so indoctrinated or so afraid or so dependent or whatever. I don't know what each and every one of their reasons are, but they are so something, so beholding in some way to that cult that they do bad things too. Just like Mike Rinder did. Just like all of them did. I mean, Nora said that she wanted to apologize to Nicole Kidman for what she did to turn her kids against her. Even our second gens have done bad things, but they're not bad people, and they've made amends. I don't understand. I don't understand. It is pure ass evil at the top. It is pure ass evil, and I will stand firm in my belief that they are getting off on it, y'all. They are getting off on it. It's not even just about the money or whatever, about the power, whatever. It's about watching people suffer. It has to be. They would still be powerful. They may even be more powerful if they were decent, but they're not. They have to be getting off on it. And our government's letting them. And it just infuriates me. What we have to do, and I don't know how to do it, is we have to follow the money. It has to lead somewhere, okay? And it's not just a person. I'm not saying, oh, it's Trump or it's Biden or it's Obama or it's Bush or it's Reagan or, no. It's not that. It's bigger than a person. And I don't know who it is, what it is. I don't know the who, what, where, and, why and how. I don't know those things. And as a journalist, that is driving me absolutely crazy because I cannot figure out those questions. Because it's not just Miscavige. There's somebody that has something to do with our government that lets them get away with this crap. Do any of you have ideas? Because I'd love to hear them. So I don't know. How do they get away with being a criminal enterprise? Because they are a cult and they are definitely a criminal enterprise, but they are not, in my opinion, a church or any kind of religion. I just don't think they are. So now I'm going to go see just threw that one in the floor. Oh, Lord, I'm hot because I ran. I mean, it's only like, I don't know, 75, 80 feet, something like that to the other end of the house. But damn, when you run that way and back and you're dodging dogs and everything, it's like, sheesh. So, oh, Marilee says, hi, folks. Looking forward to our group. I was too. I was excited all day. Joel McCoy, good to see you. Thank you so much for continuing to be a member. Good afternoon to all of you. Hope that your day has been filled with all good things. Mine's been a pretty good day. I've had a pretty good day, and my headache didn't come back today. I never just have 2 days of migraines. It's always 5 or 6, so I don't know. We'll see. Well, I'm thinking of it. I'm not gonna have a show tomorrow, y'all. I'm not doing a live because I have just a routine cardiology appointment, but my appointment's not until, like, 3 o'clock, and it always takes 2 or 3 hours when I'm there, and I am gonna try to talk Mark into taking me to dinner afterwards, so I will see you guys in the chat, but I won't be doing a live tomorrow. DOA is a fraud is here. Hello, Susie in chat. I made it. Yay. Glad to see you. Always glad to see you. Miss Sunrise Dawn. Hi from North Georgia, everyone. Aw. Marilee's having a good day. 2 grandkids have birthdays today. I thought that Veta and her family was going to go see Santa today, but I don't think they went. So maybe they're going to go. I don't know. Not sure when they're going because Saturday they have a big family thing. Curtis's side of the family gets together and does Thanksgiving and Christmas kind of all together, as they're a huge family. But so anyway, they do that. And Sunday, she didn't say anything about going anywhere because she said that she would do mine and Mark's photos. We're gonna have photos taken, um, give out to some of the family, his mom and some of them. So anyway, we're gonna have those done on Sunday, and she's a photographer. So anyway, Conda, it's good to see you. Oh, you got a tooth pulled. That sucks. Not fun, y'all. Hi, Eileen. Good to see you. I don't know where Mischief went. We have got on. Must have been asleep or something. Miss Sunrise Dawn says, so true, Susie. It's been a terrible, crappy, stressful week here. Bad news about hubby's health. Oh, no. But I try to put a smile on my face and put a brave front anyway. Oh, sweetheart. If you need somebody to talk to, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. You can email me. You can message me on Facebook, whatever. Get a hold of me and I'll even give you my number and you can call me if you just need a shoulder. Sometimes it's nice to talk to somebody that's not involved and, because they're not hurting. You're not having to worry about, oh, if I say this, it's going to upset them. So, just keep it in mind if you ever need me. All of you, honestly, if you ever need me, let me know. Absolutely, Constance June. So good to see you. And thank you for being a member. But it is so sad to hear about her husband. I hope that it works out better. Hi, Poet. So good to see you too. Poet was one of the first people that started following my channel. I was like, yay. Joe McCoy says, I must exit. My wife has been the president of the library board for 20 years. She's giving it up and they're having a party for her. See you all. Have a great evening. You too. And give your wife a pat on the back. That is excellent. I am such a fan of libraries. I should have been a librarian, honestly. I just didn't, I don't know. I didn't, think that, honestly, I didn't think I was smart enough for it, to be perfectly honest. My daughter, our youngest daughter, Katie, she is a teacher. She teaches in the little town that they live in, or it's a little city, small little city. But anyway, she's wanting to go back to school and finish getting even more degrees because you have to have a master's to be a librarian. And so she's actually thinking about going back and getting either that or to get where she could be a library manager or something. She's got friends that actually work in the library. They are huge into the library. Of course, they live there in town. So they are constantly going to the library for different events like Lego Day and Story Hour and summer reading programs and there's just something constantly, and they're constantly ordering books to have delivered to there. So other libraries from the Tulsa County area will like if somebody in one town wants it and another library has it and it's available, they'll ship it to that library, and then when they need it back, they'll say, hey, we need our book back. So anyway, it is just so amazing, and I'm so proud of her, and I wish she would go back and get that because she's so good with books and with kids, and just she has a good memory, and I just think that she'd be an excellent librarian. or manager even. She's good with business ends too, so anyway. Yeah, Marilee, can you imagine if a foreign government had done that? We would be in some kind of crazy World War whatever number at that time. Miss Sunrise Dawn, are you Osa? Oh, well. I want to be Osa. We'll just, like, start up our own little OSA. We can come up with something that OSA stands for that doesn't stand for Office of Special Affairs. And we could just be OSA, right? Screw the trolls. We can play that game. Inappropriate heifer says, I am the OSA. You and Cricket. I am the OSA. You gotta love Hef. She don't miss a beat. Oh, Miss Sunrise Dawn says, shh. I was sent to watch Susie. I don't think OSA gives a flying crap about me. I wish they did. I wish they would try something. Bring it, OSA. Bring it. Yeah. I'll chest bump you. It won't hurt me. Well, it might. I don't have any padding. Evie, good to see you. I might have already said that, but anyway. Oh my God, Gary Mackey. Yay. I wrote you a song today. I'm still going to send it to you because, I didn't know you were going to be here today. Oh my goodness, it is so good to see you back in. Hopefully you're not working as many hours as you were. I kind of waited and waited and waited. I knew that you hadn't just deserted us, but I was kind of getting worried. I was hoping you weren't sick or anything. So then I emailed you the other day and found out that you were just working a lot. So anyway, I'm glad to see you back. Hopefully you can check in some, and I will send you that card. I've got a Christmas card for you, and I'll put that song in it. So it's stupid and it's terrible, but anyway, it is kind of funny. Yeah, Gary. Yay. So glad to see you. I'm glad to see you all, but he's been missing for a while, y'all, and I got a little concerned. Yes, exactly, Eileen. Uneducated isn't stupid, but it's a damn waste of possibilities. It is, or a darn, sorry. Put my little spin on it. Hey, Carrie Ann is here. How are things? They're great here. We're just bitching about Scientology. Girl, I still want to know what you're doing to get so skinny. You look good, but just be careful. Okay? Just be careful. Yeah, Gary Mackey says the feds went after Teflon Don's lawyer for that exact stuff, brought it in the RICO statutes. I just don't understand. I just really don't understand. There's Mike Brown's link and SBTV. Oh, Gary Mackey, bless your heart. I love you, but you really don't have to always send me money. I love you, even if you never sent me a dime. I really would. And wait till you see how my office is coming along. I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm not going to sit in my chair. I'm not going to do anything till I have it all done. And Mark and I have actually returning one office. It was his into like a little co-office because I'm not live when he's working. He's only in there on the weekends. And I generally try to take the weekends off. And by the time I do a live, he's usually taking a break. So even if I did it on the weekend, we wouldn't interfere with each other. But I've got like a nice big, L-shaped desk, and I've got my new chair, and I've got all this pink stuff. When I get it done, which Christmas is kind of taken over, so it's probably going to be the first of the year before we finish it. I'm going to show you guys. So, Marilee, how are you getting kicked out? Oh, Got a day off or two, Gary. I am so happy. You need a break. You've been working a lot. You guys are just so great. Yeah, merely he is. He always makes me cry. He's just so kind. And he certainly doesn't have to be. But it does help. I mean, because, we have a lot of expenses with this channel, and then my YouTube TV is going up like 10 or $12 a month. I'm just like, good Lord, we got rid of our cable because it was cheaper to do YouTube TV, and now YouTube TV is gonna go up. So I'm just like, ugh, greed. Aw, I love when y'all talk to each other. Oh, right now Gary has 2 modes, working or sleeping, not even able to stroll Walmart. Oh, Eileen says absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. They just see it as a game, how they and how far they can push them. Absolutely. Uh-oh, Mischief's here. She's gonna get on to me. I've went over an hour, but I did say at the beginning, Mischief, that it was probably gonna go just a little bit over, but I wanted to read in its entirety the stuff that the prosecutors put out against Scientology. So I think I did say, I know you emailed me back and told me that you were working. And I think I said that you were working to somebody. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I probably did, but who is Never in Aaron? I have never seen that name before. It's good to see you, though. Hope you come back. We have a lot of fun here, and we are a safe channel. Everybody just has a good time. Yeah, he didn't email you. Haha. Mischief. Oh, Gary, making up for last time, apparently. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. That is so kind. Uh, yes, learning the Dewey Decimal System is hell. I was a library brat too. I spent all my time at one time growing up, we literally lived behind the library. So I would leave my house and around the corner I'd go to the library and I would just sit. I would read encyclopedias. I just would read anything. Y'all, it took me till 3rd grade. I'm not gonna lie. It took me till 3rd grade before I got good at reading. And by the 5th grade, I was reading at college level. And Veta, the one that's been on here with me, and is just wanting so badly to do her. We really need to do her little Timu haul because it's been months and I haven't let her have her toys yet. It's been like 2 months, but she's fine. She's got plenty of toys, but she hadn't even really missed them. But anyway, she had the same kind of trouble. So I'm like, it must be hereditary or something. But now all of a sudden she's reading good, like too good. I was, you know, I had a I was scrolling through Facebook and she was reading stuff people were saying, and then I was getting messages and checking my email and all this stuff. And she was leaning over my shoulder, reading over my shoulder. So, but yeah, the Dewey Decimal System is hell to learn. But I tell you what, it is just so amazing. Mischief Managed thinks that she's OSA too. Yeah. Outstanding Susie aficionados. Absolutely. We can be that, OSA. That's a good one. And you put that on a shirt. Now let's hear the song. I am not singing it. But I will print after I send it to him, I will print the words to it in my community post. But it's to that, I'll tell you one thing, it is to the tune of that, "Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home?" So that gives you a lot of, that probably tells you some. Eileen got a membership from Gary. Oh, you had shots done and it's doing it. Okay. The SGB DSR shots. Wow. That is awesome. I need to talk to you. Same with Reese. Just consider it a grifter tax. Yeah. Yep. Susie's a grifter. Somebody said that about me one time. I had Starlink, and actually, that's what we have now. We have Starlink. Um, my son-in-law and them, Megan and my son-in-law had it too, and then the fiber optic cable came into our area, so they switched to that. But we're sticking with Starlink because it's good. Mine's fast and all that, and but my actual we've got Starlink, but then we have this YouTube TV so that Mark can watch all these stupid shows that he wants to watch. So I don't know. Aw, Marilee says my granddaughter just said hi, Susie. Hi. You got a good grandma. We're just about to the bottom. Yeah, I have Starlink. Sounds like my reading, Susie Marilee. You didn't read till later, too. I can't believe I didn't. I could add, I could subtract, I could even divide and multiply and all that. Okay. And I hate math. I love reading. I have loved books since I was like in the womb. And so to not be able to, I could read, but I just wasn't good at it. Like I couldn't get my comprehension down because I was real like the cat ran through the yard, and by the time I'd get to the end, I forgot who ran through the yard. But in 2 years' time, within 2 years, when they tested me again, I was at college level. In fact, when I was in the 7th grade, they bumped me to 8th grade. Like I went to 7th grade for a month and then they bumped me to 8th grade because I was just, it was too easy. Everything was too easy, all of it. So they bumped me to there. And I still graduated. It's funny because I was born on the 7th of June. I skipped the 7th grade. I was 7th in my 8th grade out of 110 graduates. I was 7th. I was 7th out of my senior class out of like 36. But there's other stuff too. 7 has always been my number. Hey, Carrie Ann says I don't remember not being able to read or learning to read. I do, because I was so upset I would go home and just cry. Carrie, we don't have a TV in an abusive home, so books were my safe place. Oh, we didn't have a TV. Absolutely. Books were my safe place too, but I didn't have, I mean, we had a TV and I didn't come from an abusive home, but it was my release. It was, I was the oldest and I just had a lot of responsibility growing up. And so it was really my time that I could just like, just release, just breathe. So books have always been amazing to me. In fact, this Christmas, we're doing a deal. I usually way overspend at Christmas, y'all. And I know I'm just chattering and Mischief is probably having a heart attack, but I feel good. So I want to talk to y'all. But anyway, so this time we're doing like something to wear, something they need, something they want, and something to read. So everybody's getting 4 gifts. And they might get one of this and one of that and or they might get 2 or 3 of this. It kind of just depends. And the smaller ones are getting more because the bigger ones' gifts are more expensive. But no, they're still just getting 4, but there might be more than one thing in a package. But anyway, Mark's like, how many books did you buy? Because I mean, I didn't just buy everybody one book. I bought everybody multiple books, so I still spent too much. But I did look for bargains. Then I cut it way back and I used my YouTube money. So thank you guys. Yeah, Mischief Manage, it's time to start yelling. That's what Gary says. Mischief Manage is having a heart attack. I'm just 14 minutes over, but I am at the bottom of my chat. So I'm going to say thank you to all of you. Thank you again, Gary. I am so glad to see you back. Get some rest over the next couple of days. You absolutely deserve it. Go stroll through Walmart if you want to, whatever you want to do. All of you, go do something that you want to do. Oh, really inappropriate. However, my dad's birthday is June 7th. So is mine. June 7th of 66. Because I said I was probably born on the 6th. And the doctor was like, we are not putting 6666 on her birth certificate. Oh, she's locked out of Messenger. I can't yell at her. DOA, you have a good night too, everybody. Everybody take care. I'm going to go. I've already got dinner done. I made a big old pot of beans. And so I am going to go and rest and maybe watch a movie or paint some Christmas cards. I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all. I really, really, really do. Bye.